Hey guys, today's summit is already not going according to plan. I wanted to summit Sierra Negra, which is a P1K, and on the map it shows that there's a county road that's on private land, and then it gets to a point where it's on Forest Service land for like a little bit. My plan was to park there, hike up the peak. Not many trip reports about this mountain, a couple GPS tracks, so I thought it'd be pretty doable, but I guess because the road goes through a ranch, they have it closed off, and lots of barbed wire and cameras, and it looks like there's a good way to hit this peak without having to deal with that, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to respect the private land. So basically we're pivoting. We're instead going to do Cerro Pelon, which I believe is this one right here. We're going to drive over there. It's not too far. It actually looks like a pretty easy summit, just a road walk up, but it's another P1K. And that's what you have to do sometimes. But I figured I'd film here to show you this really awesome scenery. This is just like such a cool area, and it's all private land. So there's not much exploring we can do around here, obviously, but just beautiful. These areas are just hidden away in northern New Mexico. Really cool. So let's head over there. Hopefully it's an easy little trip navigationally. Well, as you can tell, we're hiking up now. We're hiking up Cerro Pelon, which is pretty close crow's flight wise to our initial attempted peak, Sierra Negra. Yeah, like I was saying, I was reading some trip reports, and there are only two trip reports for that mountain, and they both start by that ranch. And so it seemed to me like it was a good access point, but if it was at one point, it's not now. But yeah, we're close to the town of Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was a bit of a drive to get here from Albuquerque. Probably I think it was about 12 miles actually not even Forest Road. I think it was County Road, and then a little bit on Forest Road. And the condition of the road was actually pretty good as far as, being two-wheel drive, reasonable clearance capable. But the washboarding was so awful. And I hate driving on washboarded roads like that. It always seems to knock something loose off the Cherokee. And then probably an indicator that I needed to have some work done on my transfer case, or at least the linkage. It tends to knock me out of four-wheel drive, which is really frustrating, especially because I'm in four-wheel drive for a reason. Now, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This view behind me is just amazing. We're probably about 400 vertical feet from the summit. It's a forest road walk up to some communication towers, and then it looks like maybe about a quarter mile of off-trail travel. But you can definitely see into Colorado. I'm almost positive you can see some 14ers, but I have no clue what they are. I'm going to zoom in and see if hopefully the camera can make it out. That's Baldy Mountain in New Mexico. I think it's almost 11,000 feet. Not over though. And I think that's Grouse Mesa with the snow on it. Railroad Peak might be one of those back there, but I seem to remember not having a very clear view to the south. So probably not. You can see center shot right there, that snow-capped one. That's I'm pretty sure that is Conejos Peak in Colorado. Of course, those are the 12ers we pointed out in the Railroad Peak video. Can't remember their names off the top of my head. You see something snow-capped way out there. It's likely that is some 14er. And then I think, yep, it's coming through on camera. You can see way out in the distance some large mountains in Colorado and so on. And I can even see stuff way back there. You can maybe see it way in the background. I believe that might be the mountains out near Durango. So a really cool view, and we're not even at the top of this peak. Okay, we are quite literally at the end of the road. So I think now we're just gonna bum it about the last 250 feet or so off trail. I don't think it'll be too hard, but we will see. Oh yeah, Cerro Pelon. Let's look at the cairn. I don't think it's the actual summit. Well, Cerro Pelon, Spanish, I believe, for bald hill, and yeah, I'd say it's mostly that. And just some brush here at the summit. Let's get there. Although, is that the true summit out there? I don't know. We will find out. Woo! Like I said, a gorgeous view. This is a pretty cool peak, honestly, because you can actually see to the north. I'll talk a little bit about it in a minute. We already saw it this way on the way up. That's Albuquerque Lake in the foreground. You see, that is Cerro Pelon, which is this is like a view that most people don't see, but this is the famous mountain that Georgia O'Keeffe painted quite a bit. Adjust my feet. Sorry if it's shaky. North slopes of the Jemez, very remote. I don't think a lot of people really come out here. Here is Pelada Peak, which my wife and I summited back in, I want to say, June 2020. Really beautiful peak. Cool view of the northern slopes of the Jemez, but you can't really see to the north because it's tree covered. But you get a pretty good view south and west. Is the Jemez Mountain, which is very high on the prominence list. I hiked that back in, I want to say, 2017, and it's really not that difficult of a hike. And maybe one day I'll do it on this channel, but given that I've already done it, it's kind of low on the list. I want to say that's either Cerro Toledo or Caballo Mountain in the Jemez. I think Cerro Toledo, but I'm not totally sure. And then here's kind of the way I came in from. I would say this is kind of where I came in. It's a very unique area. It's very flat. It looks very interesting. So here's the mountains of Santa Fe. You can see a low fog has settled over the valley. It was much thicker this morning, but it still looks there. Santa Fe ski area, Santa Fe Baldy, etc. Truchas Peak, Jicarita Peak. I think that's Cerro Vista. Can't remember the name of that one. Picurus Peak. There's a Wheeler Group, Gold Hill, Latier Group, and back there must be Culebra Group. And it might even be on the far left. That might even be Culebra Peak, the furthest south 14er, in at least Colorado. In the foreground here was our original goal for the day. I already forgot the name of it. See Cerro de la Hoya in the background. There's San Antonio Mountain in the background, and we're back to where we started. So really beautiful area, remote. I would definitely recommend either doing the road walk up here or potentially even driving up here. There's not really any good like campsites or anything up here, so I would really only come up here if you want to summit the peak. It's a fun little mountain, not too far from Santa Fe. All right, we just got spat out back on the road. As you can imagine, going down the snow is a lot easier than going up. Some bushwhacking, but when gravity is assisting you, it's pretty easy. It's just a road walk back down. And so unless I see something cool, I think that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Almost forgot to say, today, being the day I'm filming this, it's my brother's birthday. So happy birthday, Sam. You've seen him on this channel before, so wish him a happy birthday.